just help out Miami here today.
We are ready for first serve. Kylie Filimawa to send us away. Florida State, Miami here in Coral Gables. And an error on serve receive there from Hurricane veteran Nailani Feliciano. And a quick start here for FSU on the road.
I watched the serve and pass this morning, and I saw some heat coming out of these players on FSU, so Miami has to be concerned.
Well, now it leads Florida State in service aces this year, causing problems right out of the gate, though Miami gets it over that time. First swing, Henke into the roof. It's still playable. Heredia Colon lined it up. Back to their senior, glancing off hands. Set to the middle, and Capilla puts it away.
I love a setter that will use her middle early. We talked about the pins in the open, but you have to establish those other zones, especially if your opponent is really keyed in on one player.
That's Nunu Capilla, the freshman from Texas, leads the team in blocks. Very capable attacking presence in the middle. Heredia Colon, third swing already. Rodriguez lines it up.
I told you, keep your eyes on her. But Miami run a 5-1, which means that Ariana Rodriguez will be front court for 3 rotations. And she can take a big swing with that lefty arm, so FSU cannot sleep on her.
64 kills this season for Rodriguez. They're a lot more than just dump shots, as Wilson a little bit long on her service. Miami entering tonight 19-4 overall, 9-3 in conference play as Yamamoto serves for this Florida State squad that is on a little bit of a roll right now in ACC play, 5 consecutive wins. Heredia Colon active early, tools the block.
And that's one of her specialties. We talk about her power, but also it's her court awareness and her smarts. If she's looking at that block and they're taking cross on her, pay attention for her to go off the hands and out of bounds. That's a really smart way of scoring.
The NCAA leader in kills per set. She has been dynamic and at times unstoppable for this Miami squad, particularly when the Canes hosted top 5 Pitt earlier this year. Rodriguez stayed in front, gets it over. Middle set. Feliciano diving. Good joust. Florida State wins it. Delaney Ewing rising and winning the point.
Ewing with a good heads-up play there. That was a bit scrappy on Miami's side, so I like that FSU are keeping their wits about them on those kind of awkward and uncomfortable-looking plays.
Florida State head coach Chris Poole said whether it's Ewing or Capilla in the middle, both have had their bright spots and learning moments as well this season. They're about identical in total blocks so far. Heredia Colon puts it away on the right side.
And here's what's so fun about her is you saw her swing on the left side there. Now she's on the right side. Now she's going to the backcourt. She's one of those players that has such a range that no matter where she's hitting from, she can be so effective.
Heredia Colon, as well as Rodriguez, 2 of the best servers in college volleyball. 2 service errors now, though, on Miami out of the gates.
And this was something we talked to Coach Keno about. How offensive are your team going to be in serving? Because we know they're one of the best servers in the country, but a lot of errors creep in. He said he gives the green light to Ariana and to Flor Marie. The others need to pay attention to what those 2 are doing.
Rodriguez on the run. Here's the first swing from Amina Njai into the block. Back row attack straight into the strings from Heredia Colon, 6'3" Seminoles. Miami led by a head man, Ken Ogondra, in his 13th season now, has guided Miami to 8 NCAA tournament appearances, including each of the last 4 years. This might be his best squad in the last 5. That's out on Florida State, their first service error of the match. Chris Poole on the other sideline, what a distinguished collegiate career he has had, the active winningest head coach in Division I volleyball, 952 wins. Called this a rebuilding year when things got started, but still said, look, I think we can find a way to the NCAA tournament, or at least that's my goal entering this year. Splinawa taps it over. Feliciano sets Jasmine Vergara, first swing for the senior. Miami's block rising. Tyler Wilson there.
Big move by Miami in the front court. You can see the feet working before the arms, and that close is what makes that such a dangerous block. It's a tall block, but it's the physicality of being closed and together.
Dahlia Wilson, 6th in the ACC in blocks per set. Filimawa to the corner. It's long, pleading for a touch. And there was the Florida State points.
You're seeing more and more of those kind of swings at the high level, not the ones that are trying to find the floor immediately, the ones that are looking for the end line or the fingertips. And that's what Florida does really, really well.
Here's Kaylin Russ to serve. Sophomore for Winter Garden. In a much bigger role this year after only appearing in 6 sets last season. Wilson out of play. Florida State's getting a little bit of space here in the first set.
And I like bringing Kaylin Russ in as this serving sub. She typically wears that libero jersey. Right now she's playing as a DF, but you get that extra defense when she comes in to serve.
Rodriguez to Njai. Great dig by Henke. Filimawa tried to tap it, too soft. That's Miami point. You played in 4 or 5 of these rivalry matchups, Key. What do you remember from them? What's important out of the gates in the first set?
I just remember that FSU always comes to play. This is never a rollover. No matter which team is above in the rankings, it's always a dogfight.
Miami's certainly favored on paper today. But in the series, the Noles have had the upper hand 6 straight times. That's a mishit on the right side from Peyton Whalen. Point Miami. Whalen's coming off her best performance in her freshman campaign, though, last time out against BC. Had 11 kills. Didn't have more than 5 in any other match this year. Yeah,
Coach Poole saying, hey, she steps up sometimes. It's other players stepping up at different times. I would love if a few of the freshmen would step up at the same time.
Filimawa, heavy swing. Seminoles go up 9-7. Filimawa 9th in the league, and kills per set. Had to spend some time at the libero spot last year, just out of necessity. Got a late start in training for this season after Beach, but quickly has found her rhythm. Just take a look at her numbers in comparison to the rest of the league. Figuring it out on the fly. That's into the net. Second service error on the Noles, 9-8. Miami coming off a 4-set win against Syracuse on Sunday. Had a season-high 67 kills and hit 308s against the Orange. Good diving serve there. Good pace by Heredia Cologne. That fell through. That stayed in. Crafty point there for the Noles.
Yeah, there's that beach shot you were talking about. That is exactly what you'll see on the beach court is players will look for that deep shot. It's a roll shot. It's not hard driven. She's hoping that that's exactly what's going to happen. It'll be a miscommunication or just left by her opponent.
How much does transfer from beach to indoor?
Well, the physicality is really important. If you're playing in sand, you learn to jump. You learn to be really more active in a very difficult environment with the heat. You got the sun, you got the wind, you got all those factors you have to play in on. Indoor, that translates to indoor because your reaction time is quicker. Yeah. You're faster and more athletic.
Now is certainly proof of the transition. Heredia Cologne active here in the first set. Digs this one away. Her team down 3. Tools it. Third kill, Heredia Cologne.
Heredia Cologne is so dynamic, and let me show you exactly why. She's just come off the net, and this is a swing that you might see a middle do because it's basically a gap. And when we talked about her and Ariana having that undeniable connection, it's because she can feed with that kind of speed.
Nicholson to the middle. Heredia Cologne, another kill.
All right, so we've seen Heredia Cologne on the left side, on the right side, from the pipe. We've seen her go that quick, short ball in front as well. Just look at how many different shots she has in her toolkit.
Early impact with 4 kills, 4 of Miami's 10 points. Henke blocked, but out of play for a Seminoles point. The pit match for Miami. Heredia Cologne had about 80 total swings, and Miami got the win. You wonder how sustainable is that moving forward, but she gets a heavy workload match in and match out. It feels like she's used to that at this point.
And I wonder if it's a little dangerous. I don't love teams that rely on just one player to get all of their damage done, but if it works, keep running to it, but if not, that's when you have to see other players step up, and we might.
She'll play at her highest level in matches of meaningful nature like this.
And there's another tool. Just the tip, it's a little push, it's not a fully hard driven ball. She's recognizing the blockers are starting to key on her, rightfully so.
Hitting 364 early on in this match. Florida State leads by 1. Rodriguez, that's an ace. You get Heredia Cologne out of service. It doesn't get any easier sometimes with Rodriguez.
Yeah, she has the green light from Keno for exactly that reason. She will be so aggressive, sometimes to a fault at the end line.
Free ball, Miami. Bump set. Vergara blocked. Rodriguez this time. Heredia Cologne, heavy angle, out of play.
I like the idea of going for that angle because, like we mentioned earlier, we saw her go end line, we saw her go off the hands. Now she's cutting it back, and you have to be that kind of hitter when you start seeing you have two blockers in front of you. But credit to the FSU blockers for forcing her out.
Florida State has had her number of sorts in the 6 matches they played. They've held her to just 71 kills, but more impressively to 0.48 hit percentage in those 6 matches. Vergara, strong. Could take a touch though, yes. That'll be a Miami point, 13-13. Canes tied up.
That's the shot, high off the fingertips. It doesn't have to be glamorous, it just has to get the touch.
Seen a couple swings go to Jasmine Vergara, who's Miami's grad student, transferred in from Tennessee State after starting her career locally in Miami-Dade. Heredia Cologne could use help in whatever form or fashion it is. Here's Henke. Oh. Wow. Rodriguez off balance, sticks her arm out for the dig. That's out of play. Heredia Cologne's upset at herself.
Oh, that is a great dig from Ariana. She just goes with the one-arm scoop. That ball was coming fast enough. She didn't have a whole lot of reaction time. Came off the block a little bit, so you really just have to kind of defend and absorb the power of that ball.
5 attacking errors in this first set now for the Canes. And Jai, out of play. 14 all.
Yeah, we need to see a few more players other than Heredia Cologne get the ball, get opportunities to swing, and prove that they are a threat at the net that FSU will pay attention to.
13 of the 23 swings coming from Heredia Cologne. Filimawa gets the points. And Florida State will have the 1-point edge heading into the first timeout. 15-14 Noles and the Hurricanes on ACC Network.
Defense-minded style play. What she lacks in height, she makes up for it with pure hustle and that court awareness that you have to see on a libero.
This is a fantastic matchup between the middles, though, too. You would have been perfectly justified.
I'm sure we'll have players out of top middles. Don't you worry.
This over Miami's middle to Njai. It was out of play for Miami points, tied at 15.
Yeah, speaking of middles there, I would have loved a little bit more of a press from Nanu on FSU's side.
That's a Leach in for Miami for the first time to serve. Canes hitting 174, Florida State at 294. Back set, blocked, but on Miami's side of the nets, Florida State points.
Yeah, here's the problem with the speedy offense that we're seeing on both sides. There's not a whole lot of time for the middles to get set up, and that's where you're seeing balls kind of dribble through, coming under the arms and just over the net.
Lily Nicholson now to serve with Florida State up with points. FSU has not trailed in this first set. Each setting. Njai tools the block, and it's out of play. We were talking with Miami head coach Ken Ogandra. What's the preparation looks like this week off another successful week? And he said, look, I thought our passing needed work. We gave up too many reception errors. Those are just deadly, but we're also getting more comfortable with how our second rotations are looking, where players can play around the court. It's kind of becoming a little easier to identify that.
Yeah, I think the word he used was it's like splitting hairs to decide who he's going to be playing here and in what position.
Great kill. Stayed in along that sideline.
Yeah, those wrist away shots are equally deadly than the ones that go off the hands and out of bounds.
Filimawa will serve. Quick set. Wilson repelled. Rodriguez this time. Whoa, attacking from the right side. That's their setter.
That's your setter. Dominican Republic take a bow because she has just taken over from the national team because of this style of play. She does not mind if she's the one setting or attacking.
Keno Gonder just effusive in his praise of Rodriguez when we were chatting with him. Henke taps it over. Ready Cologne. Any touch? Yes. Point to Miami. First lead of the match for the Canes.
And again, same name we keep calling, and that's that higher swing that's just getting the touch off the hands.
Miami service error right after that. When we were talking with Chris Poole as well, it was interesting. He said, you know, I want to try to be a little different to start off this match on the road. Miami plays so well here. I'm willing for us to be a little bit risky, perhaps, maybe defensively with what we do. He wants to try to change things up for what Miami may be expecting.
Yeah, he's certainly not going to take too much risk. He's definitely still got his big players on court, like Henke. He said, we're not going to just switch up the lineup completely, but they have to be risky, especially in a match like this.
Said they did the same thing against Auburn the week they played the Tigers twice. It didn't work out perfectly, but trying to make some adjustments to that as they play a team twice in the same week for the second time this season. Miami up 19-18 after another service error. Ready, Cologne. Blocked. Delaney Ewing.
That's a huge stuff from FSU, but it all starts with this right here, the one-handed set. Just keeping the ball off the net, and you know how important that is when you have Rodriguez back on the end line to even just contain and control that serve, let alone convert it into a point.
Johanna Sova subbed in for the first time as well for Florida State. Her sophomore middle blocker from Estonia. Overpass, watch out. That cost Miami. Lead right back to Florida State, lead in the first set here. Serve receive errors that cost Miami at times this past weekend.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Keno talking about that serve receive, super important for his side, but just they also have a couple of workshops. They do things that he says the players get to decide what they want to work on, and they can come in an extra time and work on it. I love that.
Ready Cologne, a little off balance, reset. Vergara. Back row attack from the pipe. Feliciano calls off her teammates. Vergara again. Yamamoto there. Henke repelled. (20-20).
Excellent read by the blockers of Miami and Cologne. Look at the finish as well. Her hands are taking away all the daylight.
Both teams with a pair of blocks this first set. Henke attacking and scoring. 21-20.
I love that she got that set repeat immediately, because after a player gets a block like that one just previously, give her that ball again, and it dies a little on the inside that time, and that's why you see her go and reach in that direction.
Back healthy after missing 5 matches with an injury. Florida State was 1-4 without her. Jai easily handled. Canes back in system. Vergara glances off hands. Good point here. Henke rolls it. Wow, crafty 22-20. Henke finding a way.
And how smart is that placement? You saw the first time the tip went on Rodriguez. She's out of the play and setting. This time the tip goes the other direction. The libero just kind of caught sleeping there.
Critical first set here on the road for Florida State. They've won 5 straight matches. Trying to get off to a good start here. Inchai sent back. Ready Cologne this time. Rolls to the pin. And another point. 3-point lead for Florida State. Peyton Whalen off her 11-kill performance. Florida State's at 357 as a team in this first set. Miami's down to 171, partially due to those 6 attacking errors. Backs against the wall here, 23-20 with Henke serving. Enja trying to get one back. Yamamoto hustling, free ball Miami. Ready, Cologne. Wow, what a dig. Yamamoto again. Another free ball, though. The whistle blows. Double touch. 23-21.
That's a shame for FSU, a ball handling error on that play, because look at the defense. Some hustle plays on FSU's side. It's Yamamoto running the ball down. We talked about how crafty she would be in that defensive position, and then that huge big dig as well on Cologne, nonetheless. So if you have a player like Cologne, could be getting frustrated that she's not getting those points she's used to getting.
Ready, Cologne, 6 kills, 4 attacking errors on 18 swings. Miami's got it within 2. Despite some inefficiencies offensively. A.J. Ricketts, Key Michael, Florida State, and Miami. The Seminoles riding a 6-game win streak in this series against the Miami side that started the year with 15 straight wins after an opening night loss to Indiana. As you take a look, aside from bragging rights, what's at stake tonight? Florida State looking to extend that. And Miami, no one on this roster has ever defeated the Seminoles.
I know, it's crazy to think, especially because when you come here in Miami, and Chris Poole said that himself, it's really tough to win in this gym. It's small, but you feel quite overwhelmed with the band and all the fans and all the players can get a little overwhelmed, but they have not seemed to have any trouble.
This is a venue. Miami took down 4th-ranked Pitt earlier this year. That was the match. Heredia Cologne put up a program record, 38 kills. And Miami's doing all this without one of their outsides, who when she went out at the time was their 2nd leading offensive contributor, and Ava Carney was 2nd in total kills. They've had most of their ACC season without her, which has made this 9-3 mark all the more impressive.
Yeah, they've had to find out how to score without her. She is on the bench here today, but she's had days where we haven't even seen her in the gym.
Let's put a bigger load on Heredia Cologne. She's been up to the task. 23-21. Philly Maua glances off hands. Rodriguez to her senior. Bump set. Philly Maua again. Off Miami hands and to the floor. It's set point Seminoles.
This is the consistency we continue to see. It's the defense on FSU's side that's putting them in such good positions every time.
Prowl trying to will Miami to a couple of points here. Florida State with the advantage. Njai trying to keep it going. Still alive. Vergara sent back. Ready, Cologne to the corner. Philly Maua, no problems. Njai there. Big swing. Ready, Cologne gets one back. Payne's down 2.
Well, they get that point, but this is a dangerous sign for Miami. The #1 attacker, looks like she fell a little awkwardly on that last point.
Concerning moments right now for Miami. The right foot going into Feliciano.
Yeah, there are so many ankle injuries in volleyball. You don't expect it to come in the backcourt where there are less feet ready to collide, but for Miami, with a player like her, they just cannot afford for her to not be 100%.
We talked about what Henke and Philly Maua mean to Florida State's offense. Heredia Cologne maybe been exponentially more important as individually. I don't know. Also, her team down 2 points. Florida State playing with some conviction in this first set. Set point again. Leach serves. Good pass. Philly Maua puts it into it. Florida State takes set 1. Philly Maua 7 kills on 18 of the 32 total attempts for Florida State. It's a successful start here in Coral Gables. Set 2 underway. Quick set, well too strong, no touch. Florida State, every player on the court was trying to plead for a Miami touch, not given.
A pretty similar start to the first set as well, establishing that middle zone.
Maybe a Durst line drive serve. And Key rolls it. Ready, Cologne with power and the points. 2-0 Miami, strong start to the second.
Yeah, I think if those errors get cut down, we talked about Cologne being the perpetrator of the majority of them, but just in general, if this UM side can cut those errors down, much different set.
Difficult serve receive, and that's out of play. 3-0 Miami, and this is a start that alludes to what Ken Ogondera talks to us about we asked him, what do you feel that your team's executing most during the win streak? He said, I think we've been tough enough to handle our bad moments a little bit. That first set wasn't a bad moment, but not to their standard. We're handling it strong here in the second. Mawa off hands, 3-1. What's your point of emphasis between sets if you were the Florida State coaching staff?
I think there's keep doing what you're doing. I like their aggressivity from the end line, and I like the way that their block is moving in front of the most important players. In particular, Heredia Cologne has not seen a single block all night long, so there's a much better reaction to it. She's got 4 hands in front of her. Now you start to see the tips and the rolls fall.
There's a smile from Heredia Cologne. Was quite concerned at the end of that first set. Everybody in this crowd concerned too after he twisted her foot or knee a little bit. Looking much better there. Creative finish for 1 Miami. Tapped into open space. That's Nenu Kapia. Saw the side of the net vacated. Put in a good spot.
And that was not a comfortable situation for her. It's a high out assisted ball. She's used to running a slide that would have gone all the way to the pin, so she just did what she could. And again, look for where the floor is open.
Vergara back row. Overpass. Rodriguez, watch out. Oh, sent back. Delaney Ewing stonewalls.
Ewing read the scouting reports. Rodriguez loves to take a swing, especially on a tight ball like that. You saw her do it in set number 1. She comes flying in, and Ewing just stands her ground. She does not get pulled into anybody else or following anything else.
Heredia Cologne gets one back. That was a big sequence. Those spontaneous Rodriguez big swings are momentum changers for Miami, and Ewing prevented that, although Heredia Cologne gets a quick point back. Yeah,
that's exactly right. You have to stop those high momentum plays, whether it be a long rally that's extended or those quick high energy momentum plays.
10 kills now for Heredia Cologne. This point goes to Florida State though. A couple substitutions following for the Noles as Peyton Whalen re-enters, as well as Nellie Stevenson.
And that's the double sub that you'll see all match long from FSU. They like to keep their setter in the back court, which means they have 3 attackers in front court at all times. So you won't see their setter attack like Rodriguez.
Heredia Cologne had time to load up and picks up kill number 11. That hit percentage creeping back up towards 300.
Now, wild to think she's been hitting better after she had that awkward fall than she did before. Maybe she just needed a little wake-up call.
Kind of surprising, too, as low as Miami's attacking percentage has been today. Florida State only at 2 blocks. Their back row and passing has been fabulous today. Heredia Cologne into the net. 5th service error for the Hurricanes today.
And 5th overall error from Heredia Cologne. She's got to dial that in.
And key to serve. Njai tools it. Good work rate for Njai and Vergara today. They've combined for 17 attempts.
This is out of system play as well, so you know there's going to be a big block up on you. I like that high IQ swing between the hands of the blockers. That's what's available there.
Stevenson to the pin. Whalen gets it right back, 7-6. Back to Njai, though, for Miami. She looked prolific in the Stanford and Virginia Tech matches compared to what she had done this season. 21 kills, just 4 in the last 2 matches combined. Already has 4 through a set plus today. So Njai looks like she'll be a factor here in this rivalry matchup. Peyton Whalen, perhaps for Florida State on the other side, providing some support for her top 2 attacking players. Service error, 8-6 Miami. Look at Whalen, career match. against BC, hit .529 against the Eagles. Whalen. Beach back set. Rodriguez loads. Enke digs. Enke swings, rolls it. Feliciano mishit it. Leach get this. No, just too far to run. A little chaotic in the back.
Yeah, good hustle play, but at least those things on the sidelines are not uncomfortable the way they are. The LED boards when you play internationally are pretty unforgiving on the body. That looked like a nice little bouncy castle.
Some painful memories popping back up.
Yeah.
Here's Nicholson serving. Great dig, but it goes out of play. And Jai picking up her 5th kill of the match.
Miami have made the substitution in the setter role. Just a different look here.
Another service error, 6 now on the Canes. That one in Jai, who just had the kill. Durst will re-enter as Philly Maua is set to serve.
So interesting. Nijic setting for Miami and Rodriguez in the opposite position to swing.
Enke tools it, out of play. What do you make of that adjustment from Ken Ogandra with Rodriguez on the right side?
It's interesting. He's looking for different solutions, and I think he knows he's got a big swinger in her, but FSU know that Rodriguez is going to be a zone that they can target in the front court, and that's exactly what you just saw in the block.
Targeting Reddy Cologne on serve receive. Even go. Reddy Cologne, too strong. 10-9. Talked about those workshops from Miami. Reddy Cologne's been working a lot on serve receive the past couple of months.
Yeah, she has to. She knows she's going to be targeted every single time a team comes up against Miami. That's what they're looking for.
Miscue on Philly Maua on serve receive. Canes up 2.
Yeah, you always want to target the players that are going to be attacking the most. So that's a perfect example. Go off of Philly Maua, force her into an uncomfortable attack.
Do it again. Gonna pass this time. Enke, 3-step approach and a point. 11-10.
The difference on FSU's side is if you target one player, there's another one popping up on the other side. That's the problem right now for the Canes, is they are so one-player heavy that it's really easy for the blockers of FSU.
Nicholson putting that one on the money. The TCU transfer leads the team in assists. Quick set and a point. Logan Wiley's first kill of the night.
We've been waiting for that. Unleash that middle zone. You have to have some power coming out of there, and Wiley does such a good job. You see she's got no block on her because that zone has not been a threat for FSU all night long.
That recent ace, by the way, for Rodriguez, her 60th of the season, leads the ACC, 3rd in the country. 12-10. Here's Enke. Set back to the floor. Miami, largest lead of the match.
And this is why Rodriguez continues to be so offensive from the end line, because it sets it up for her block to be in a better position. It's all a domino effect from that first contact.
Rodriguez, top spin serve. A little disjointed that time, though, from Florida State, out of play.
And you can see Florida State trying to establish that middle zone as well. It's hard to do. That connection has to be so precise. There's so little time.
Miami up by 4 here in the second set. Noel's going to talk it over. I think Miami getting into a rhythm. Canes hitting .583 here in the second set. Rodriguez stood up. Vergara off fingertips into the floor. 5-point lead.
And again, it keeps Rodriguez on the line. So all these little things starting to add up. There's that defense. It's an out-assisted play. Doesn't take much just to roll off the fingers.
How has Miami's offense gotten back into a the rhythm we've seen here in the second set.
Well, we've seen their passing much better, but also with those errors cut down, the errors in serve as well. They are forcing FSU to play.
No panic from this group. Power serve, just long. 15-11 as Florida State will send Whalen back in as well as Stevenson. Florida State taking set one, 25-22. Freddie Cologne, stonewalled.
Henke has got her number. Again, that ball dropping short. They're trying to target Cologne there. But I like the movement to get her out of it. But again, the blockers then know exactly where the ball is going.
Henke and Ewing in the area. Gotta get four hands up against Heredia Cologne. They do a great job there. Vergara this time. Jasmine Vergara. It's their third kill of the match. She's been heavily involved in the offense, though.
And it's almost rinse and repeat with that serve, and you see that Feliciano has to step in and take it. The blockers took that little one step towards the left side. They're expecting the same set, and that opens up some space on the left side.
Vergara third in Miami with kills tonight, and another service error for the Canes. Heredia Cologne right after Rodriguez, and Florida State will be happy with that. Felt like the Noles were treading water for a moment there, but they're still very much in this set. And key in service. Essentially a free ball. Filimawa. You bet.
I love her style of swing. You can see she kind of gathers all of her energy up, and at the peak of her swing, that's when she just unleashes this whip of an arm that the blockers are not even fully pressed over the net yet.
Filimawa's at 9 kills, second among all players today. Njai. Not that time. Florida State's block starting to become very effective.
And it's all about timing with this blocking and attacking situation here. The blocker's already way out there. Kate Whalen just hanging out, expecting that ball and pursing her arms early.
Pair of blocks in the last 4 points for Florida State. Heredia Cologne. No one's blocking that.
Talk a lot about angles as well when you're attacker, and Cologne from the backcourt, you'll see it perfectly from this angle. The blockers have gone a little bit one direction, and because they're diving back the other way, she capitalizes on that bit of space there on the right side of Ewing.
Off the hands of Rodriguez. A little confused after that sequence. Noles get a point back. 17-16 here. Miami's hitting .444 in this set, yet only up 1 point. Miami led by as many as 5 here in this second set. Vergara. Switch sides now to Njai. Another block. Florida State. It's a wall at the nets. 17 all.
The Noles are doing such a good job of moving in sync. So you see the blockers in one direction, get the touch. Back to the middle to base, going all the way to the other direction. It's just kind of reading the game, and that comes, which is why I'm really impressed from these young, inexperienced players on FSU's side to be playing at that kind of level.
Tough spot for a service error after the Noles had clawed back to tie. I mean, it's the Florida State side that averages just over 2 blocks per set. That's near dead last in the ACC, but it's been the reason why they're still in this set despite going down 5. Dump shots. Nearly worked. Pancakes by Heredia Cologne. Filimawa loads up. That's it. Tie game. 18 all.
Little run of points here for FSU, and you called it out. It's the blocking that's doing such good work at the net. They're having a great night at the office in terms of blocks. 4 in 1 set. Those are huge numbers, especially against a team like Miami that have such big guns.
Florida State's percentage in this set has climbed to 312 now. Here's Lily Nicholson. Ready Cologne. That's who you got to go to right now. Oh, it's bouncing around the roof, and it's going to stay up there. We'll replay the points. So it can bounce around however long. If it falls back on your own side, you can continue to play. What it can't do is go through the roof onto the other side, continue to be played. Or if it gets stuck up there, they'll replay. It's one of the unique dynamics of the night sports complex.
Yeah, the roof is just a little bit lower than you'd like.
Florida State will take that, though. They were a little out of system there.
Just gone, just poof, vanished into the night. Never to be seen again. That ball is, now it's just a memory.
There's a lot of volleyballs up there right now. I'm wondering how often they decide to go retrieve those. Need to bring the lift in here. All right, they're replaying it. Difficult set. Rodriguez tooled it, though. Versatile setter for the Canes.
I love it. I love the way that she plays, and Keno has a lot of respect for her as well, saying she probably deserved to be the starting setter on the national team last summer, but she waited till this summer until she got her chance. But this is why players that have that kind of duality and versatility.
Mawa. Wow, what a swing. 19 all. Double-digit kills for Kylene Filimawa in 11 straight now, and 18 of her last 21.
So Miami, I don't know why they've changed up their strategy and served to the other side of the court. That frees her up to attack.
Serving Heredia Cologne, overpass, taken advantage of.
And you called it. That's exactly the strategy FSU has continued to use, and it's worked. Target Cologne, make it tough for her to attack. Miami was doing that to Filimawa, but they went away from it a little bit.
First lead of the set for Florida State. Pressure rising on Miami right now. In danger of going down 2-0 at home. Unranked Florida State. 6 straight wins in this series, but Miami entered tonight the clear favorites. Another service error on the Noles in the last couple of points, 20 all.
That's the last time you want to miss a serve, is when you've got Miami backs against the wall, pressure is on them. Maybe a ball that goes out by an inch or just clips the tape, but not one that's out by that far.
And Key to the corner. Any touch? No. Florida State's bench pleading for one. And Chris Poole talking to an official here.
I thought they were asking for a touch on the block by Rodriguez. She's given the very clear, no, I didn't touch it, go ahead and challenge.
So Florida State is challenging whether this took a touch, as Moises Santiago is going to go over to the monitor and take a look.
Original call was point Miami. FSU's challenging there was a touch on the block.
It's a pretty good look at it.
Critical sequence right here late in the second set. It's the echo system that Moises Santiago is taking a look at. Getting the same look he is.
I tend to agree with Rodriguez. I don't think she was anywhere close to that ball.
From that angle, we don't see her fingers brushed back or any touch.
No movement. I always like to look for it in slow motion backwards. You'll see some awkward wiggle of the fingers, but I see nothing.
Nothing definitive in that Side angle as well from the net. Watch the right hand of Rodriguez. That's where the touch would be, and nothing definitive thus far. Key as it stands, it's 21-20 Miami after this sequence.
Yeah, so I like the idea of going for this challenge at this point. Whether or not FSU get it, they've slowed the momentum, they've kind of reset the tone, and that's what you want to do late in the stage of the set. You don't want to allow another team to get any momentum, even if it means having to use a challenge or two. Surprised they're still looking at it. I mean, that was pretty clear cut to me from the first angle.
Well, we have our answer here in a moment.
After review, the ruling on the court is confirmed. No contact. FSU will lose their challenge.
So not just stands, but confirms. One challenge remaining for Florida State. Miami maintains a 21-20 lead. Chris Poole looks befuddled.
His players were so convincing.
Right.
They ran over. I mean, there were 3 or 4 with their hands up in his face saying, you got to challenge that.
This team's still in a great spot right here.
Yeah.
Very much in this second set. Chance to go up 2-0, depending on how these last couple points play out. Wilson serve. Henke, 3-step approach to the back row, dug out by Durst. Ready, Cologne, off hands. Yamamoto digs. Henke again, glances off the fingertips. Cologne from the line. Blocked again. Free ball Miami. Long-winded rally. Rodriguez raises hands. Henke a little out in front. Oh, it falls. Henke making something out of a difficult set, 21-21.
This is why volleyball is such a chess match. Look at Ariana's hand. She goes up, pulls him away because she recognizes that Henke's going to try and do the same thing that they just challenged for momentarily ago. Instead, she goes with 2 hands. It's a long shot, and that's a difficult play for the middle, who's playing middle back.
That's what Chris Poole used to describe these Miami-Florida State matches. Said him and Keno, it's so often a chess match between these two. Seeing that again, 21-all. Here's Heredi Cologne, blocked for a Miami points. Florida State was celebrating for a moment. They thought it was their point. They're a little confused here.
I was a little confused too. It happened so quickly. Did it go down the hands of the blockers on their own side? Ewing arguing that that was on the other side. It was a good block, but...
Chris Poole asking Moises Santiago, that landed on our side? Seemed pretty certain that it did.
Oh yeah, from that angle it's easier to see.
Chris Poole said the NC State loss, that cost us a little bit. We're going to have to make that one up, probably with the ranked win. But they are in the conversation. Down by 1. Rodriguez keeps it going. Heredi Cologne loading up. Oh yeah, 23-21 Miami.
Expect Cologne to get a lot more sets as we get down the stretch. As you get to the 22, 23-point mark, she is the go-to for good reason, right? She had a couple more errors in the first set, but now she's cleaned those up. They're going to find her often.
How would you go to anyone else right now if you're Miami? Highest hit percentage. McCain serve helping out here. Up by 2. Again, Heredi Cologne blasts it. Set point.
Perfect example of when to go back to her, but this time a speedier set. Watch how quick that ball travels, and the blockers just do not have time to get in front of her.
Rodriguez serves on set point. Seminoles out of timeouts. Into the strings. 9 service errors tonight for Miami.
Yeah, that's what you get when you have a highly aggressive serving team. It comes with that risk, but you want that risk-reward ratio to be just about 1-to-1 ace to errors.
Just about a sellout crowd looking on, hoping Miami can even this up. Rodriguez, free ball, Florida State. Whalen into the block. Recycled for a free ball. Heredi Cologne tried to push it back line. Henke gets a swing. Knowles within 1.
I like that play from Whalen. She didn't have a good look to have a swing. Instead, she's smart with it. Pushes it into the hands. Her team is there to recycle. Then when they have a better shot, then they go for the big swing.
Seminoles in the crowd hoping their squad can earn a comeback here. Whalen loading, diving dig. Heredia Colon from the pin, catches the corner. Canes tie it up at 1 apiece.
Miami looking for a confidence.
She's continued to work on with the Dominican national team. We've seen her utilize that over the course of this season. Third set underway. Rodriguez taking a big rip, well off the line. Knowles take the first point here, set 3.
And kind of putting Rodriguez right back in that right side position. That's where he seems like he needs a little more offensive prowess.
Leach getting a lot of time today. Heredia Colon. Any touch? Yes. It did glance off Florida State hands. 1-1.
No argument on the FSU side.
Chris Poole asking for some clarification. Float serve. Kapia blocked. Jousted. Got it over. Reset. To the right side and down. Johanna Sova, first kill of the match for the Estonian national team member.
And she's one of those players that is listed as a middle on the roster, but and talked about using some different pieces, moving around. She's one of them.
Sova had the game-winning kill against Boston College on Sunday, a match that went 5 sets. Wilson, big rip, second kill for Wilson today.
I need more middle. I talk about this all the time. Just like you might need more cowbell, you need more middle to run an offense. And I know Colon can do a lot by herself. We saw those numbers, but this is huge to see that swing from Wiley.
Take a touch off the Canes there. 3-2 Miami. Yeah, Wiley has been a factor the last couple points towards the end of the second set. Haven't seen as much as Dahlia Wilson's contributions here against Florida State as much tonight. Ken Ogondra, big fan of his starting middle blocker. Wiley getting time on the court right now. That's out of play as Rodriguez has struggled with their serve a bit at times today.
Yeah, those errors we talked about, but when you've got a server so aggressive as Rodriguez, kind of will allow her that green light. He allows her that little bit more of a leash than other players that you might see just doing a float serve or a jump float.
10 service errors, just 2 service aces for Miami today. Not the ratio they're looking for. Wilson, watch out! Blasts it.
Wiley again, but it's just her 4th attempt, and this is what's concerning me is that between these two middles, they have only 7 attempts, but when they can swing like that, a one-on-one, getting a really good cut angle and some pressure on it, I need to see that more.
Logan Wiley, 3 kills now as Vergara enters for the Canes. Henke rolling it, and Jai there to cover. From the pipe. Henke rebelled. Another Canes points, 5-3.
I'm surprised we didn't see a challenge there. I thought I saw some feet going to the net from Rodriguez, but the block, doing great job, great work. Again, anytime you can just put those hands in front of an attacker, you're doing well.
4 blocks for Miami now. Henke falls to the floor. Heredia Colon couldn't get there. 5-5. 5-4, excuse me.
And again, the repeat set. This is something FSU continue to do. If there's one block, the next ball is typically going back to that same player.
Henke will serve it now. Vergara had a nice first couple sets here. And Jai this time with the tip. No problem, Stevenson. Feliciano covers. Rodriguez to the back. Heredia Colon add another kill to her tally, make it 20, 6 straight matches with 20-plus kills.
And now she's starting to work with timing as well. Watch her go up and come almost on the way down before she takes that swing, which means the blockers are on their way down as well.
Tooling the block for another points for the Mao that time. 13th kill on 18 swings. She's hitting over 700 here in set 3.
That's huge, especially for an outside or any pin attacker, because you're getting a lot of junk balls. Maybe for a middle, you'll see something over 500, but for those pins, that's impressive.
Mistake by Ewing on service there. Hinkey's hitting 238.
If I'm FSU, I'm giving a lot more balls to Philly Mauer right now with those numbers.
Chris Poole has no problem with that. The hot hands. Whalen with touch. And Jai down the line. For the Mauer again. And Jai second time through. Yamamoto covers. Hinkey to the corner. You bet. Perfectly placed. 7-6.
Hey, like that finish here going into the corner where there's nobody. But I was looking at before this, both the teams went to the setter. They tipped to the setter position, so they got their opponent out of position. You're only going to see that last point count, but I think it's all the entire play you got to keep an eye on.
Looks like Feliciano thought that one was heading out. Was in a good position for it. Rodriguez into the antenna. Can't make contacts, of course, 7-7. It's still fun to watch Rodriguez take these heavy swings on both sides here.
It's fun, but it's a little concerning for me that Keno doesn't have another player on his bench that he can go to that's an actual pin hitter.
And Jai's taken 16 swings tonight. Vergara 11. As the Seminoles take the lead here in set 3, 8-7. Timeout, Miami. Keno Gondra gonna take some time to talk this over. His team on the wrong side of the scoreline, set 3. Kylie Filimawa, 13 kills, 684 attacking percentage through 2+ sets. Seminoles up by 1. Wilson gonna get engaged. To the right side now, down the line, out of play. Seminoles up by 2 here in this third set. Key, what has stood out about the Florida State effort here on the road, set 3?
Well, they've done a really good job of serving aggressively, and you've seen that Miami have been out of system in those last couple of points, and they're trying to find ways to score. They're now looking for Rodriguez on the outside, the other pin hitters on the right side, but just not getting that delivery.
And Jai out of play, out the block, but it caught the line. 10-7 Seminoles. It's a 5-0 run.
And here's the danger we talked about. When you have one player that's your go-to, your hot hand, if no one else is stepping up to score, it becomes very one-sided, very difficult.
Sets Heredia Colon. Mauer rolls it. Leach again to her back row. That time finding the seam. The Hurricane senior.
Much better second attempt for Colon. She gets that ball a little more in front of her so she can go and get it. And we talk about that a lot. When you have a backcourt set, you want to lead your hitters so they can use that power going forward with their momentum.
Quick sets. Kapia to Leach and into the stands. Florida State attacking through the middle, working wonders. 11-8 Knowles as Durst comes in. And to your point, Key, about having some supports and having to go to Rodriguez, their setter, to find some offense. Miami's other 2 outsides. Then Jai's hitting 056. Vergara's hitting 273. But that's only on 3 kills. Colon needs some support. Yeah. Doing all she can. 22 kills now in less than 3 sets. Wiley will re-enter for Feliciano.
I think the best teams internationally around the world in college, they're the ones that are balanced, and that just means that the setter has options of who she can set. She can really run an offense. She's not forced to go to the same person.
Kapia, too strong. 11-9. And this can work. You know, in that win against 4th-ranked Pitt, Cologne with the 38 kills. The rest of the team had 20. The rest of the team who took Heredia Cologne out hit 087. Miami still won. It's been a formula for success, but that's a risky one to follow. Service ace for Miami. They've got it back tied up, 11-11.
Wilson putting a little more heat on that serve. And targeting Filimawa.
2 aces for Wilson. Causing some issues, making a third. Fires her team up.
How about the back-to-back aces for the middle? And again, she is going down the line. It's a little bit of spin on the ball, but she's catching Filimawa really high, so she's not able to control where the ball goes.
Keep this run going. Henke off hands. Great dig, Durst. Heredia Cologne lines up. Yamamoto responds. Filimawa's the hot hands. What a rally. Rodriguez, the lefty, stonewalled by the Seminoles.
There's a lot of defensive effort happening here. I love that run down in the back by Durst. She's right behind Wilson to make sure the ball does not fall. Then it's an out-of-system swing, but you have to have players that are covering that block because it's clear there are going to be 2 blockers up.
It's like Henke got the solo stuff. Wilson. Now Henke offensively. Miami with the block that time, 13-12.
All right, Rodriguez. And that's why she gets to play front court and back court. She's not a weak spot in the block, as some small setters can be, but expect this ball to go back to Henke, right? That double, the set right after she's just gotten blocked. We've seen that a couple times.
Both teams hitting under 0.59 here in this third set. Good Rodriguez serve. Henke. Heredia Cologne, 3-step approach, smokes it. Into the stands. Nicholson couldn't contain. 14-12 Miami.
Cologne, the kind of player that just gets more and more heat on her arm as the match progresses. And the ball that's dying a little inside, you can see it perfectly from that angle. She goes fully to...
Under head coach Ken Ogondoro, won a national championship as an assistant at Washington 20 years ago. He knows what that ultimate feeling is like. Trying to take Miami there with one of the best teams he's had in his time in Coral Gables. These are the matches they need to win, though, to secure that higher seeding. Here's Rodriguez to serve. Henke right back at it after the timeout. Deficit down to 1.
Yeah, Henke does not shy away from a block. It's a little taller in front of her, but she still gets that ball up and slices it down the line. I mean, Miami's given her just enough of a line to work with, and with a wide set, that's perfect.
23 combined kills between Florida State's top 2 attacking options. Heredia Cologne loves to operate from that right side. 15-13.
I'm trying to look at where she is more comfortable, because it just, every time I think it's the right side, then she pops up on the pipe and looks good. Then she gets that inside ball to the outside. I mean, there really isn't anywhere she looks uncomfortable.
Yeah, the 391 mark validates that. Overpass off the serve. Rodriguez to Njai. Roll shots covered. Henke went right at Feliciano, couldn't keep it up.
I like FSU trying to use the net a little bit, use their zone. So this ball, for example, you see how the last one went all the way to the pin, she goes line. Now they pull her inside, so they're kind of playing that cat and mouse game with the block.
There's the pin attack from Heredia Cologne. Doesn't matter where she is on the court, she's a threat.
Now it's Rodriguez back in the setting position, and this is her most comfortable shot, probably, is off the net, feeding that pipe, and it's got that little bit of speed to it every single time.
25 kills now from Heredia Cologne. Bump set. Filimawa from the line. That'll work. Deficit back to 1.
That one stings a little bit. Nailani on the run, but couldn't shut it down. Couldn't pick it up, I should say. But anytime the block gets that touch, they've done their job. So you see all the players turning around, expecting it to come up.
Critical third set. Wilson. Dahlia Wilson, first kill of the match here in set number 3.
Well, a little quiet, but there when she's needed, and that's kind of the role of a middle blocker, is you have to jump every single time, whether or not you get the ball. So we may not notice the work she's been doing, but she's been getting available.
Now tips it, handled by Rodriguez. Another back row swing from Heredia Colon, upset. Went into the net, 17-16.
And there's the balance between adding speed, trying to force your hitter to come early and aggressive, and giving them enough height that they can hit at their peak. It's a really delicate balance.
See the attacking errors proving costly at different times for Miami today, particularly in that first set, had 6 of them. Leach with the set, Wilson adjusts. Njai, well, too strong. Miscue there. 17-17 now.
These other attackers are getting their chance. I mean, that's her 20th attack and only 5 kills.
Getting her opportunities tonight. Feliciano elected to keep it going. Rodriguez flips it across and down.
Bit of confusion on Miami's side.
Rodriguez looking confused here. Ken Ogandra looking for explanation. They're saying, I think Rodriguez stepped across the line.
Yeah, they want a confirmation of what the call is before they challenge it. So they're saying, did you call that she was underneath the net? Is that what the call is? Because I want to know if I have a chance to challenge it or not.
Moises Santiago, in order to his other officials, so the announcement is here.
Original call was the center line violation against Miami. Miami's challenging the timing of the call.
So here's the thing, if her whole foot goes under the net, then that's an infraction. But if even a part of her foot touches the line, it's not. Now, I think the point that Miami is trying to make is the ball was already down, but we saw from that replay there, I think the ball was still live by the time she landed.
Rodriguez on the left side of your screen, flips it across. She was already moving backwards by the time that ball reached the floor. So there's that's the left foot.
Yeah, could the discussion be that her left foot was out of the court? I think it tagged the court a little bit.
That last angle was not definitive, though it looks like her entire foot went across.
After reviewing the play, the call of the court, it stands. Miami loses its challenge.
Yeah, there was no angle that Moises Santiago looked at that showed definitive video proof that could overturn that original assessment.
Yeah, my only concern is whether or not the ball, her foot was out of bounds. From the angle that we saw, it looked like her foot was over the line, but did touch the other court, excuse me.
Now, if it's out of bounds, however, if her left foot was out of play and across, then
it should have stayed Miami's point.
Should have stayed Miami's point, yes.
I guess we'll have to watch that back at a later date.
Heredia Colon raises the net. Filimawa, another strong kill from Kylene Filimawa, 15 now tonight.
And this could be a really crucial point lost for Miami, because if Florida State start running with it here, we're getting down into the red zone.
It's a team in Florida State that has grown up week by week. Half the roster true freshmen. Wilson, no. Rodriguez, lefty from the left side. off Florida State hands for critical Miami points. Chris Poole asking his players if that took a touch off any of them.
You can challenge the play. I don't have to give you a number. But the line just goes.
Billy Mao went over to the referee on the far side. Get some clarification from Rodolfo Rivera. And now Moises Santiago will go over to the monitor as Florida State is challenging that did not take a touch.
Now, all the players of FSU coming down looking celebratory as if it had not been touched. And you have to be super clear with your coach as well. This challenge system is in place for the right team to get the right point.
The ruling on the court is point Miami off of FSU. FSU's challenging the play.
It didn't appear particularly close when it went out of play. It was out by a foot or two.
And I was looking at Rodriguez's face after the swing. She didn't look super happy about it, and that's a pretty clear shot there. I don't think she got a touch on it.
That is definitive. Unless that camera angle's playing tricks on us, but.
And look at the reaction of the players as well. That's the dead giveaway for me. Is I'm reading facial expressions as much as I'm trying to look for inches on the ball one way or another.
The first angle we had when this review started, that looked like the clear-cut, definitive view of it.
Now, whether or not this point goes to Miami or FSU, it's still a sign to me that Miami are still trying to force that ball to Rodriguez. I mean, she is a setter by nature. Why is she one of the players that has to be scoring points for them right now?
She has the third most swings of any Miami player today. Is that a concerning development for you from Miami's perspective?
I mean, I don't mind the idea of trying to develop her in different areas, and she's obviously a very aggressive player, but if there is not a single other player that can come in and deliver for Miami, that is concerning for me.
And Ava Carney, their second leading offensive player, has been out since September 28th, their match at Clemson. And look, Rodriguez certainly capable of being an offensive presence, not in the form of, you think of setters who are offensive weapons. Coastal Carolina's Jalen Stout is the name that immediately comes to mind, putting up triple doubles with regularity. But Rodriguez is not asked to do anything of that nature. It can certainly contribute 2 to 5 kills per match, but it's been a little eye-opening how she's been utilized effectively as an outside.
After review, the play is reversed. There was no touch. Point FSU. FSU keeps their challenge.
The call reversed, 20 to 17. That's some war chants, tomahawk chops going down here in the Knight Sports Complex. Miami's fans trying to get re-engaged. Vergara will sub in for Miami, in for Leach.
And there's the change we were wondering about. Rodriguez back to the setting position where she likes to be.
On the slide, Wilson gets a key Miami point back.
I love the idea of getting these middles going again, and you know FSU is going to be targeting Cologne. That's exactly what they do. So look at that, a 1.5 block maybe in front of Wilson. If she gets that kind of open net, you got to have her swinging.
And another service ace for the Canes. Starting to rack them up now. It's 5. That time from Injai.
This is exactly when Miami have to take those risks at the end line.
Third in the country in service aces. Problems again. Knowles recover. Free ball for Miami. Heredia Cologne puts it down. 20-20, 3 straight points for Miami.
Best swing of the night for Cologne, but that's a team effort. That free ball right on the head of the setter, and look how sharp she is swinging. Rodriguez puts her so tight, a little inside. There's one-on-one block. That is her bread and butter.
Wilson started the rally with the slide. Match tonight.
Yeah, 26 kills to the next closest on her team, which is 5. It is very clear to everyone in the gym, anyone watching, she's the go-to, she's the hot hand. She's been finding ways to score, though. That's what's so impressive, is that no matter who knows she's getting the ball, she's still making it happen and finding the floor. It's those angles, it's the range, and it's just the confidence she's swinging with.
How do you counter what you've seen the last few points if you're Chris Poole in Florida State?
Well, I think FSU was doing such a good job of getting their block in front of her. If they continue to serve aggressive, that ball goes off the net and it gets forced to her a little bit higher. If she beats you with speed, that means your serve has not done their job.
No. Philly Maua and Henke have combined for 26 kills. Again, Florida State out blocking Miami 8-5. It's been a defensive battle in this set, although Florida State much higher hit percentage at 217 versus Miami's 056. First to 5 points here. Nicholson sets Philly Maua, sent back, and it's a hurricane 4-0 run.
These runs are vicious. That's exactly what the Canes needed right there. A big stuff block to remind FSU where they are.
Miami's 12th in the conference in blocks per set. They have capable middles. Another ace, Miami.
It's the gun show from the fans, but you know how much Miami have been working on this serve, and we talk about how much pressure they've been putting on everyone in the ACC with it. Now's the time to use it.
6 aces tonight. It's a 6-0 run. Njai still back there. 5-0 run, excuse me. Almost 6. Ready, Cologne. Florida State stops the bleeding.
Yeah, Florida State needed to get out of that one, specifically with how flat that serve was coming at them.
That run changing the entire tenor of this set, though. Miami still out in front, 22-21 as Philly Maua looks on right by that Miami student section. Durst trying to get this to the net. Ready, Cologne loading up. That's a Miami point. What a set.
I don't mind two players bumping shoulders to make sure the ball doesn't drop. A little communication might have helped, but a high ball out of system, and Cologne still taking big rips.
Henke shut down. Set points.
The service pressure is paying dividends for Miami right now when you see the block like that.
Wilson's had a couple of aces in this set. Henke, another block. Miami takes the set. On we go, set 4. First swing of the set is a big rip from Philly Maua to give the Seminoles the first point. The difference, point spread between the 3 sets, 4 plus 2 plus 3. That would be 9 total points in the 3 sets.
Don't you dare make me do math, AJ. I'm not here for it.
You just saw how tenuous that was. Big rip. Back to the nets. Rodriguez timing it up.
That's when I like seeing Rodriguez attack, when it's unexpected, when it's not part of the offense, it's just a quick reaction out of her.
That's what Miami has seen most of the season. Maybe a little wrinkle from Gondra just for tonight. Nicholson across court, Henke rolls it. Wilson diving, and that's put away. Capilla had it put on a platter, 2-1.
Yeah, good heads-up play by Capilla. That not looking like something she'd seen before, but they were playing pretty scrappy. A little short court this morning at serve and pass. Maybe that's paying off.
Knowles got here early today. Had their serve and pass around 12 o'clock. Give them some more time in the evening. Here's Rodriguez off hands. That's a hurricane points. 2-2.
They're going back to that Rodriguez swing. I mean, look at some of the scoring here. Heredia Cologne with 27 kills. Again, the next closest, Andea with 5. It's split between the two players on FSU's side, so it's exactly the story that we were expecting coming in.
I think Miami would prefer some more contributions from outsides that are not Heredia Cologne or their setter.
Yeah.
They'll still take the lead. Went the wrong way. Rodriguez was trying to dig that out off balance. 3-2, Florida State. Whalen back in. Just had a quieter night than her career high against Boston College a couple days ago. Again, that went 5 sets against the Eagles for Florida State. 3 players, double-digit kills. Whalen being one of them. Bump set to Heredia Cologne. You bet. 3-3, and Heredia Cologne's getting closer to 30 kills.
Yeah, she is no stranger to getting Miami out of hot water. That ball a little tight for her liking, but you saw the body control as well to keep herself out of the net while still being aggressive on the snap.
Henke off the line, off Miami hands, 4-3 Seminoles. To that point about Heredia Cologne's big night, I mean, this is finally perhaps a breakthrough for Heredia Cologne against the Seminoles. She had yet to eclipse 20 kills against Florida State in her 6 previous matches, and again, that hit under 100 in those combined. She's at 377 today. Wilson, look out! Wiley, I beg your pardon, 4-4. Logan Wiley, 3rd kill today on 6 attempts, no errors for Wiley, the transfer from Georgia Tech.
Yeah, not a whole lot of attempts, but she makes it look so athletic when she does get those kills. They're few and far between, but it's a good-looking rip.
Wiley and Wilson, the 2 effective middle blockers for Miami this season, 4-4. Whalen does a good job there. Wilson right in her grill, 5-4 Seminoles.
Whalen sneaking in a kill there. She's only got 4 on the night. I think she's another player that could step up a little bit more for FSU and try and balance the load. The Miami block, as we saw in that last set, starting to really key in on where the ball's going, getting easier for them.
Ewing into the nets, 5-5. Leach will serve for the Hurricanes. Henke from the pipe, diving up by Feliciano, calls off Heredia Cologne, who pushes it over. Mawa, that gets the job done. 7-5 Seminoles.
Good defense here on Miami's side, keeping that ball in play. Big pickup from the number 2, Feliciano, but I need there to be more communication as well, because on that first one, it's tipped over. Then that's a great slowdown by Rodriguez. You can see her just confused, scratching her head why that wasn't up.
Second service error the last couple of points for the Seminoles, but they have not been knocked back at all by that dramatic 3rd set finish. The 7-1 Hurricanes run and come out punching here in the 4th. Giant those big aces late in the 3rd. Capilla, 7-6 Knowles.
And you can tell when Miami takes their foot off the gas from the service line a little bit, because that's when those middles do get involved. The better, or I should say, the weaker the serve, the better the pass, the easier to run the middle.
Rodriguez. Good job by the Seminole block. Here's Filimawa off Miami hands, 8-6 Florida State.
Filimawa keeping herself open in the backcourt, and I like that FSU are trying to take the load off of her in that first contact as well. Watch for the libero, the other passers, to just move in her way and take the first contact.
later and later in this match, and Philly Mao is still hitting over 600. Ready Cologne tips it. It's the Noles out of system. Sova's attack covered. Rodriguez, difficult set. Heredia Cologne puts it away. No panic in Miami, even when out of sorts.
Yeah, no need to panic, I don't think. They've gotten themselves in a good position here. 2 sets up is exactly where you want to be. I still would love a little more distribution.
I think he rolls it. Ready Cologne again. Henke from the left side, cranks it, finds the corner.
That's so clever from Henke because middle blocker has just served Wilson, but she doesn't go to zone 5. She goes to the middle back in zone 6, and that's exactly where Henke can target in on her.
Block covers Heredia Cologne. Henke with some touch. Feliciano over. Yamamoto saves. Ewing to the line. Pancakes. Heredia Cologne wanted the kill. So did the crowd. Henke covered by Durst. Canes won it. Went for the dump. What a rally. Cologne ignites the crowd. 30 kills for the senior.
This all starts with a defensive effort from Miami here. There's one up with the fist. Then there's a pancake between 2 players. I mean, that kind of all-out defense is what helps Cologne look so comfortable here. Said it once before, defense wins games.
An exhausting rally. Miami within a point. Ewing reached back. Vergara that time. 4th kill for Vergara, but Heredia Cologne has 30. Nobody else on Miami with more than 5.
Wild, wild numbers.
She has 30, the rest of the team 19. Was mishit by Rodriguez. Florida State back on top 10-9.
And that's why it was so concerning when we saw Heredia Cologne go down with a potential injury in that first set. I'm trying to picture what this Miami side would look like without her, and it does not look like an NCAA tournament team.
Fortunately, with her, they very much do.
Yeah.
Causing problems all night. Stevenson can't handle that. 10-10. She's closing in on that program record, that career high she had earlier this year. 38, 430-plus matches this season now.
And what did we see from Babcock earlier this week? 45.
Yes.
We'll put that as the benchmark then.
Well, that's just unfair.
I set that standard high, you know?
Yeah. This is a gym. Olivia Babcock and Pitt ran into a determined Miami side, their biggest win of the year. Ball sank in front of Njai. Rodriguez hustle, keeps it alive. Njai now rolls. Stevenson to Yamamoto. Here's Philly Mao. Best option for Florida State tonight. Mishits that attempt, 11-11.
And here's the danger for Florida State, because she's been so consistent, only 1 error all night long. That one her second, so if she starts racking up some errors, it's a different looking FSU side.
Noles hitting 288 as a team, Miami 232. 2 players ran into each other there. Repelled. Still going. Ready, Cologne almost got a kill off that. This time with touch into the strings, too soft.
Scrappy defense, both sides. Have a look at this pickup. Yamamoto just diving in front of Henke. She's making sure that she can stay offensive, and I love that for Lebo. Just trying to take some of the load off of her pin hitters.
Wilson to the corner, right in front of the official. That works.
And FSU doing their darndest there to get Cologne out of the offense, and they do it. I love that Wilson steps up there with a big deep swing into the corner. That's where no one is defending.
Wilson has 3 kills. After a quiet start to this match, her presence felt more. Whalen finds the seam. Peyton Whalen, the freshman from Arizona, 5th kill tonight.
Yeah, she's likely to have a seam often because look at the blockers. Wilson just hesitant to go in that direction. She knows where the big pins are, and it's from the pipe and the outside.
Whalen actually got pulled during that first set against Boston College. Chris Poole said she just looked a little out of sorts. They sat her, let her breathe, reset. Said sometimes that backfires with a freshman, but she came out, big rip, her first swing back, had 11 kills by the end of the match. Tooling the block is Injai, 13-0.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that Poole talked about that strategy. You really have to understand who your players are on the court, and not just in terms of how aggressive they are as players or what pieces they could bring athletically, but psychologically as well. A young team, you got to be a little tender with them.
There are 2 programs looking for a little more depth with their outside hitters. Yamamoto does get it across. Here's Cologne. Miami takes the lead, 14-13, set 4.
How about this hustle Yamamoto used on her right side, but Philly Maua recognizing that that cannot go unhustled. But Cologne, just too good.
Capilla, dig Vergara. Cologne once more. That'll be at Florida State points. Out. Too strong. 14-14.
Maybe wanted to have another look at it.
Ken Ogonder is going to challenge the call of whether that was out along the back line, or this gym would have exploded had that one found the back row.
Again, I wish I had in front of me
The ruling on the court is ball out. Miami's challenging.
a report, a kills report on where Cologne has gotten her points, because you've seen her with that ball inside, you've seen it wide, she goes down the line, then she peppers it cross court, then she's going for the deep. I mean, she's pretty much found every open zone on the court. And again, that is why a player of her caliber continues to score. If she's hitting the same zone every time, the blockers just throw an arm in and they take it away.
It's been a good demonstration of her skill sets. And Miami challenging whether this ball was in along the back line.
Yeah, I didn't see a touch, and I don't think it was in either. My opinion counts for very little, but I'll give it to you anyway.
Well, don't sell yourself short, partner.
We're
You got
just
that Olympic
speculating up here.
pedigree.
So are they looking for in-out, or are they looking for touch, or are they looking at both?
Moises Santiago over at the monitor taking a look that from this angle does not appear to have hit the right arm of Sova.
If anything, maybe the backcourt defender there taking a swing at it. And have a look at Russ there, just off the forearms, but no, I don't think she tagged it.
Nothing has been conclusive to change either assessment here from Moises Santiago on this Miami challenge. Both teams tied at 14 as it stands.
Yeah, think about how crucial that last challenge was in the last set. Miami went down by 3 because of it and had to claw their way back into it.
Lit a fire under the Canes. That 7-1 run to end the set. Went off 5-0 spurts immediately after the challenge. Taking a lengthy look here at the Echo replay system, whether that might have taken a touch off of Sova. There's just nothing there with any of those angles that we just saw.
After review, the ruling of the court is confirmed. Miami loses their challenge.
So Miami out of challenges until the 5th set.
That could be costly.
Ken Ogandara seems to be all right with the assessment, understanding. 14-14 here, set 4.
Now Coach Poole asking some questions. I think he might be just confirming that they're in the correct rotation. You definitely don't want to lose a point on being out of in the wrong rotation after a point like that.
Heard a Miami fan yell from the stands, delay of game, Florida State trying to get a point back. 14-14. Miami leads 2-1. Jay Ricketts, Key Michael, glad to have you with us on ACC Network. Fabulous match so far between these two rivals. Cologne off of the block and out of play as Miami takes the lead. 15-14 off the 33rd kill from Miami's All-American. No, they exist forever, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, viewers, for your eyes.
Put up an outstanding career here, 2003 to 2008. A lot of wins under Nicole Lantain-Welch's. Henke gets the kill here for Florida State. For all the Seminoles watching, don't worry. All right, I got Panhandle roots. I got an 850 area code on the cell phone. Know all about Kellum Hall and what's going on Tennessee Street.
We are completely unbiased up here in the booth.
This is neutral when we got the headsets on. Do not worry. Big shout out to our producer even for making us feel the homecoming week love. 15 all. And Miami goes back up 16-15.
Well, both these teams are going to want to try for some homecoming week love. It looks as if Miami has got a little bit of their foot on the gas in this fourth set, even just rolling over from the last set.
Rodriguez. Henke tried to tool it. Diving dig, Rodriguez. Noel staying in system and finding some space. A gap in the middle, 16 all. To that point, though, you've lived a career and a journey that a number of players on this court would love to continue. Collegiate time in the ACC, on to Olympic careers. What did your time in the ACC prepare you for what was ahead moving forward in a long professional career?
Well, this is a high-level volleyball gym. You don't come to Miami or really anywhere in the ACC and expect to just coast by. You learn to work every single day, even when it's ugly and you don't feel like showing up. That's when you see the best performances out of the top players. And I think you're seeing it from FSU in that huge stuff block from Henke. You got to step up in big times.
Ken Ogandara said, he was talking about the last couple matches, he said, I feel we've handled our bad moments better. We've seen some bad moments from the Canes at different times today. They've responded to a 2-1 lead, but Florida State will not go away. Young team playing with all sorts of confidence. Vergara! Oh yeah, 17 all.
I think the sign of a good team is how do you respond when there's pressure against you. It's easy to win when things are going your way, but how do you figure out another way to win? Well, right here is an example. Giving that ball to other players in Cologne, they have to find ways to score.
Out serve there. I think he had to do a lot of work. Vergara again after the kill. Whalen had it red. Henke now. One-handed up. Dumping it. Rodriguez saves. Here's Njai from the left side. Puts it down.
We're calling out a couple of new names now, and this gives me hope for the Miami team. Again, I hate to see a one-sided offense anywhere in the ACC.
And Cologne caught the line. Big time ace as Miami goes up 2. Oh, painting the line, and Miami sticking to the script that's given them a lot of success this year. 3rd in the nation in aces %.
And that's a laser beam, and you know she's targeted in on Henke in this instance. It's gone back and forth between Filimao and Henke because those are the 2-point scores. So I would bet that Cologne has free reign to go after each.
To that discouraging loss at SMU last week. Florida State looking to figure some things out. Nice win last weekend themselves. 19-17, Filimao. And got Feliciano extended. Njai steps in. Stevenson back set. Henke glances off Miami. Cologne, nope. And then off the jersey into the floor. 19-18, Seminoles within 1. That ends the Miami 3-0 run.
And that's the block that FSU is going to look to go back to. Disciplined with the arms. That's the key when you're going up against a Cologne. You can't just throw your hands over your head. They have to go over the net and strong.
Whalen in front of the line. Njai. Stevenson across court. Tooling it. 19-19. 2 straight points from the Noles. Ties it up. Henke will continue to serve. Played Brazil's top league, and he has been a huge boost for this Miami program. 19-19. Njai trying to tool it towards the Noles bench. They're going to get it over. Walloped, but dug out. Filimao now. Straight to Feliciano. Cologne on the run. Out in front of Filimao, stonewalled. Recycled over. Njai takes a swing. Hurricanes up by 1.
That's a confident swing. Especially on a tight ball like that. The block might have the advantage, but you got to go up early. You got to snap. That is exactly what Njai does.
Henke for the back row. Njai, a lot of usage right now, a lot of swings. Whalen at the net. Wilson had it covered. Vergara right side and out of play. 20 all.
It's crucial time, and you can see Rodriguez trying to pepper other players with some opportunities here, not just ride Cologne, because she knows she's going to need her once she gets to that 22, 23, 24 mark.
Tense moments late in set 4. Delaney Ewing serves for Florida State. Njai again, out of play. Miami up by 1. Couple of those sequences now. It's gone back on Miami's side, but well out of play. And the Hurricanes 21-20. Filimao, wow, that did not look encouraging off the serve receive. Terrific set, ties it up at 21.
Yeah, that's one of the moments where that setting rule that's got a little bit laxed on that double contact rule really helps your team out, because that would have been called a double just a few years ago, but instead it gets up in the right position. FSU able to capitalize on it.
Filimao was at 20 kills. Her career high is 25 against 10th ranked SMU recently. Wilson, not the cleanest slide. Henke attacking and scoring. Noles back out in front.
And the Noles back on Cologne in that reception. That is who they're targeting over and over, and it's paying off because it gets her out of the offense and gets them with a better swing.
Njai again. Tattoos it. 22 all.
We've seen some big moves here in the 4th set from lots of different players, and I like that UM is starting to see some different faces and call some different names.
Tough angle, that's outside the antenna. Njai's service again coming through. Canes are 2 points away from the win.
This is why an aggressive serve is so crucial. You've seen FSU on the back foot. They haven't been able to get a good ball to their setter in the last couple of plays.
And that doesn't count, of course, as 6 matches. Singing a different tune tonight. 23-22. Here's Njai to serve again. Line drive to Henke. Nicholson sets Philly Maua. Change up, handle. Ready Cologne. Awkward position. Out of play. It's tied at 23 as Durst will sub in for Njai.
Another thing to keep in mind for Miami, the transfer portals took Grace Lopez away. She was one of their big point scorers last year. She's now with Wisconsin. And looking for that balance in other areas.
This set is tied for the 20th time. Cologne, sent back, and it falls. It's set point, Florida State.
The recipe is simple. Target Cologne in reception, get that block in front of her.
Could this go 5?
Rodriguez just slowing things down a little bit.
4 of the last 7 matches between these two have gone 5. Cologne, out. Florida State takes set 4. 25-23, and this one is going the distance in Coral Gables. It's a race to 15. Wilson on the slide, taps it. Henke handles. Here's Philly Maua. Durst to her left. Heredia Cologne loading, and that will fall 1-0 Miami to start the 5th set.
It's hard to explain how difficult that shot is for Cologne. Coming from a bump set from Rodriguez, off the net, it's high and tight. Blocker should have the advantage there, but she's so clever to go high with it.
34 kills now. Her season best, Miami program best is 38 earlier this year. Henke, it's out of play, but it took a glance off of Miami hands, 1-1. Florida State 500 in these 5-set matches. They just came off one on Sunday, taking down BC up in Tully Gym. Miami 3-2. Here's Cologne, shut down, and that falls in.
There's the FSU block that we've seen all night long. And again, as soon as you target in on her, and that's a big block in front of her.
Great start to the sets for Florida State. Cologne, that's off hands, 2-2.
Cologne still asked to do so much. FSU have gone away from her in the reception, which causes me a little concerned, a little confused, but I feel like that was what was working.
Right. I feel Miami is going to target Cologne every time they can. There's Wiley winning at the nets. Wiley reading the overpass. Florida State with some contention on that sequence.
Yeah, the question mark here, was that ball still in play? Did it go over the net enough that she's able to have a swing at it, or was it still on the FSU side? All of FSU are setting up to receive. It looks like they don't think that that's worth challenging.
And we play on. 3-2 Miami. Rodriguez, powerful topspin serve, struggled with it today. Henke, cross court with the kill, 3-3.
The danger with a topspin serve is if you put the power on it, like Rodriguez often does, it comes with more risk, but you're more likely to get the other team out of system. When she takes the power off, it almost becomes a down ball, and that's really easy for FSU to handle.
After a set with 20 ties and 6 lead changes, already 3 ties, 2 lead changes in the 5th. Vergara lines it up. Hinkie to the floor. Knowles out in front, 4-3.
Working the line as well. Rodriguez down there in the defense. There's a lot of line to work with. Cologne expecting that ball to be hard-driven cross.
Back set to Cologne. Pummels. Tied again, 4-4. After Rodriguez, now Heredia Cologne. He rolls it across. Cologne has to tap it. Hinkie again with more power this time. 5-4 Florida State, and on that last serve, a little less risk averse by Heredia Cologne.
Yeah, when we saw this against Virginia Tech, Miami were having to come back after making too many errors. They took some pace off of it and it worked, but against a team like FSU, they're just handling that ball a lot better.
Njai into the block. Philly Maua now loads. Still alive. Feliciano digs. Cologne! Yamamoto is there though. Free ball Canes. Down by 1. Rodriguez sets Njai to the back row. Out in front of Philly Maua, blocked. Again. Njai, third time. Sent back. Heredia Cologne! Was that in? No! What a rally. What a points for the Seminoles, 6-4.
FSU doing such a good job of elongating these rallies here, and you can see how
Feels like they're trying. She has 33 attempts. It's the 152 clip for Amina Njai. 6-4 Seminoles. Grazing the net. Rodriguez to Vergara. Now a 3-step approach. Good up. Hinkie digs. Here's Heredia Cologne. Had some time. She wants a touch. It's a Seminole point. Heredia Cologne immediately looked over to her bench.
Now I'm wondering if they're frustrated because they really thought there was a touch, or are they just frustrated because they didn't win the point?
Yeah, no. And Miami's going to use the challenge. Their final one.
The ruling on the court is point FSU. Miami challenging lose a touch.
Moises Santiago going to take another look.
Tough to tell from that angle.
They're looking at the right hand of Delaney Ewing, middle of your screen. From that angle, there's nothing conclusive enough to overturn.
Yeah, this might be a better one. Nice and slow.
This is not looking good for Miami here, based on the 2 angles we've seen thus far. It'll be the difference between a 7-4 match and 6-5. But it does not appear from our vantage points that Delaney Ewing had a touch with that right hand.
I like that they're looking for the backcourt touch as well. Hinkie just matrix moving to get out of the way. I think it's just above the block, and I think doesn't graze the defense either.
Do you see the rotation of the ball change at all?
I don't think so.
Nothing definitive.
And FSU, I mean, there's a good look at it as well. They've done the right thing there. They did not have the opportunity to swing. You just saw them tipping behind the block. Then they've taken one of the hitters out of Miami's side. That's why they're able to key in on Cologne.
Miami was up 23-21 22 in set 4. Seminoles finished with 3 consecutive points.
Oh, wait, from that angle, is there a little thumb movement? It looks like it's way over, but then I feel as though there's a little wiggle of the thumb. Getting another little look at it. And I appreciate that we're taking multiple angles at it because this is so close, it has to go the right way.
Really long look at it from Moises Santiago, taking every sort of angle here on the Echo review system. Still does not appear as if there's anything from any of those vantage points that's enough to warrant overturning the initial call, which was Florida State point. Watch the left hand, the left thumb. If you're looking for it, you probably see it. And if you're looking the other way,
yeah, exactly. It depends who you're rooting for, whether or not you see it.
After the review, the ruling on the field, on the court is reversed. There was a touch in Miami, number 24.
Wow.
Miami keeps the challenge.
A huge successful challenge for Ken Ogondra there.
Oh, that was a bullet dodged if you're a Miami fan, and I don't see any argument from the FSU side. It was so difficult to see.
That is as close as it gets on these challenges. It's such a big difference from 7-4 and 6-5.
Huge.
Maua erased 6-6.
So what could have been a 3-point lead now is tied. This is exactly why that challenge system is such a huge addition to our sport.
Bad pass off the serve. Miami leads 7-6. 3-0 run.
And that's a good call as it stands. That ball was on its way over the net. Wilson up there just taking her advantage. She knows who's front court, and they don't have a front court setter. FSU playing with that back court 6-2 rotation. So she knows she has the advantage there to go off. And her setter's back court on the other side, Stevenson.
Henke out of play. 7-7. Did well to take a good swing, a couple of feet off the net there. Miami block. Couldn't get the job done. 7-7 as Kaylin Russ will serve for Florida State. Quick set. Wilson!
I thought I saw Rodriguez look at Wilson say, I'm getting this ball to you. And this is the stretch, right around 6, 7, 8 points where Rodriguez knows she has to use these other elements. And one of them being Wilson there, gives her the confidence, gets her that push ball. She beats the block. There's a little gap there between the blockers and feeds it in.
You get Wilson on approach. Quick set, 1v1 against Capilla there. No problems putting that away. Dollar Wilson, 5 kills. And as they switch sides, Miami leads 8-7 here, 5th set. Canes desperately trying to end this 4-year skid against Florida State. How big a win would this be for the Seminoles? Come on the road at your rival, number 14. Half your roster is freshmen. Going to take down the Canes? Maua. This is Njai. Stuffed.
It got pretty quiet in here, but that's a huge block. Handy moving quickly, getting her hands over. I mean, they are recognizing FSU has to understand the flow of the game. And right now, Rodriguez is going to search for other players than Cologne to try and establish different zones, so they're on it.
Second block of the set, 13th of the match for Florida State. They lead that department 13-9. Nicholson serving. Heredia Cologne with some speed and some pop in that swing and ties a program record in her career high, 38 kills.
Cologne looking a little worse for wear. She is tired. She is swinging so much here tonight, but continues to give it her absolute all every time that ball is coming in front of her. Might still be nursing a little injury from that first set, but you wouldn't know it.
She looks exhausted, but said, let's keep going, let's keep playing, let's go, I'm ready. 9-8 Miami. Out of play, too long by Injai. Tied at 9. 8 ties, 4 lead changes here in this 5th set. Off the fingertips of Heredia Cologne, Feliciano went to the official. Quick set. Oh! Heredia Cologne with the block. She can do it all.
How about this shove from Feliciano? She moves the line judge out of the way. She is not giving up that opportunity to score a point, and then, wow, what a finish.
Miami back in front. Henke, dug by Durst. Heredia Cologne, who else? Off the top of the net and out of play. Program record, 39 kills. She doesn't care about that. She just wants her team to get to 15 first. Wilson serves. Nice set. Henke blocked. Henke twice. Durst back line. Heredia Cologne, 40!
Name something this woman cannot do. 40 kills on the night, and that one down the line. It is every area of the court that she is finding, and she's doing it with joy.
No one else in Miami history has reached these heights. 12-9 Canes, 3-0 run. Henke taps. And dumping it is Rodriguez, saved by Nicholson. Henke stronger swing, that's long. 13-9, 4-0 run Miami.
Well, Rodriguez wagging the finger in the air immediately, but I think we're going to see a challenge here from Poole. He wants to know if there was a touch, and rightfully so. Even if this doesn't go his way, he's got to stop this bleeding.
Florida State will challenge whether there was a touch, and again, even if this is unsuccessful, it effectively serves as an extra timeout for him here.
Original call on the court was ball out. FSU's challenging there was a touch.
I mean, you can feel the energy in the stadium right now that's changed since these last couple of points, since it was tied up. Yeah, it looks like it's over Rodriguez. We'll get a couple of zoom ins and a fair chance at it, like the challenge that went the other way.
Miami, as it stands, just 2 points away from wrapping up a thrilling 5-set victory over Florida State as they continue to take a look if there was a touch.
And again, this is the time to go to that outside zone when Rodriguez is front court, the smaller of the blockers. I like FSU trying to use that zone. And I like the high flat swing as well. Typically, you'll get just enough of a touch on it, and it's really a game of centimeters at this point when you're playing at that level.
Just an all-American effort from Flor Marie Heredia Cologne, who was a recipient of third-team honors last year, the first Miami All-American since Savannah Leaf in 2014. And at least 2014 season, she had 4.6 kills per set. Heredia Cologne's a kill more than that right now. She's had multiple moments this year now. Seems like she's making a case for first-team All-American honors this time around. From all these looks.
Quick maths, what's 40 kills divided by 5 sets?
That would be a whopping 8.
And that's what she got last weekend, so that's 3 matches in a row where you're averaging 8 kills a set. That's dominant performance.
Nothing conclusive here in this challenge right now. And Florida State trying to get a point back through it.
I do appreciate that every single angle is being looked at because, again, this is a crucial point that if FSU were able to steal it, they'd be back within the race. But a 4-point spread is, that's a tough one when you're in a 5th set.
From every angle we've seen, I saw no touch at the nets. I don't see a touch on Durst in the back row. Moises Santiago gonna let us know.
After review, the ruling on the court is confirmed. FSU loses the challenge.
So the 4-0 run for Miami stands. Florida State with some real heavy lifting to do now as Dalia Wilson will serve for the Hurricanes. Henke, straight to Wilson. Heredia Cologne, full send, match points.
Put a stamp on it, Cologne.
The crowd at the night rises to their feet, match point. Miami's got a couple of them. This is Henke rolling. Durst covers, Rodriguez trying to put it away. A little too antsy on the swing, 14-10.
Well, Miami have done well to give themselves this little cushion here. Now they can be riskier.
That had caught Florida State off guard. It's just a miscue on the hit. A good idea by Rodriguez there.
Where do we think this ball's going? Cologne? Safe bet?
They've targeted her in these moments. Durst covers. Cologne to put it away. Did it take a touch? No. Every Miami player is saying to challenge. And the officials are going to gather at the net. There'd be no more fitting way for this match to end than a Heredia Cologne kill.
Oh, it's feeling a little anticlimactic. Everyone in the gym thinking there was a touch, but everyone in this gym is a little biased.
And we'll stay with Florida State. And Ken Ogandra is immediately signaling for a challenge. And we're going to go back to the monitor here to see whether that took a touch after Heredia Cologne's swing, and whether the 42nd potential kill will be the nail in the coffin for Florida State.
The ruling on the court is point FSU. Miami's touch, and it was a touch.
All right, Key. Left hand of Delaney Ewing.
Let's see it again.
Has to be conclusive, right?
I feel like maybe it's the right hand. That's where I see a little bit of wiggle in the fingers. I think that ball went between her hands and hit perhaps the thumb of Ewing.
Moises Santiago at the monitor once again. Miami trying to put this match away with a challenge on a touch. Did it hit the hand of Delaney Ewing? Nothing's been definitive from these first couple of angles.
It looks to me like there's a little bit of a wiggle, and that's what I always pay attention to, is if you play it slow motion in reverse, does it just look like an awkward movement?
Is that enough to overturn the call?
After review, the ruling on the court is reversed. FSU touched the ball before going out of bounds. Point
Miami takes down Florida State in 5 sets. First win against the Seminoles since 2021.
This is how you have to fight and